Hi, I'm just servicing a Ferrograph A77 Mk3 for somebody. He's come in. He said that he bought it off eBay. He switched it on and smoke started to come out of it. So he switched it off again and contacted me. And I found the culprit. The culprit are these capacitors here, spark capacitors. You might be able to see this one here is burnt up. All of these go, they're not reliable. If you buy an A77 and it hasn't been serviced, you really want to replace those. They're the first things you should replace because they can actually catch fire on the A77. The B77, they will just smoke badly, but these ones are not protected. They have no safety on them, so they can actually catch fire. So that is a must that you replace these when you get one of these. These are made by Reefer, and then Reefer Mind Print, and there's 3 of them on the relay board and 1 of them on the speed control board, and you need to replace them all if you're doing a proper job, not just the ones that have smoked. I've got a load here that I have in. These aren't Reefer, these are actually Vichy, and they're better than Reefer. Also, they're X2 rated, which is a safety rating that is really good. It won't ever catch fire, so it just fail if they fail. But these modern ones are much better than these old Reefers anyway. Reefer is an extremely good make, but there are big problems on these Revoxes, and I've just repaired a couple of B77s with these Reefers blown as well, and that causes quite a lot of smoke to come out of the back. They're different spark capacitors in the B77 than they are the A77, but all the A77s from Mark 1 to Mark 4, they all share the same spark capacitors, which are the ones that you get problems with. Some people have had problems with the main capacitors, smoothing capacitors. This here, if you can see these silver things here, these are actually the motor start capacitors. Some people have had problems with them. They're made by Reefer as well. But I've not really had any problems with them. Just once. I've repaired a lot of these units, and just once have I ever had a problem with those there. Now I've got the camera. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see those black blocks there on the relay board? See, there's one behind this wiring here. Can you see that? One behind the wiring, another on the other side, and another one at the far corner. Can you see that? They're the ones that go, and also on board over here as well that go. And sometimes the resistors around them go as well. So you just have to look out for that when you're servicing these. I'm not going to be servicing Revoxes anymore because I'm not going to be in the country before too long. I'm going to emigrate to Brazil, and I don't think there's many of these in Brazil, so probably won't be servicing these again. So I'm passing on all my little secrets. Another thing that goes a lot as well is these excuse me, are these sensors here. This is an end of tape sensor, and this is a bulb. Obviously, if this bulb is blown, you won't get an auto stop when the tape runs out here. It won't auto stop because there'll be no light shining on this. So this bulb has to be working and illuminated at all times. But sometimes if these sensors they do lose their sensitivity after a while, and there is actually a modification you can do on that relay board that I showed you to get the sensitivity back. And I might actually bring out a video or some sort of manual to help people out on that, because there's a few common problems with these. The other thing with this one, the customer was under the impression that this was a 4-track unit, sorry, 2-track unit, but it's actually a 4-track, and this is painfully obvious because on here it says 4-spur. The 2-tracks say 2-spur or 2-track. So this is a 4-track. I have had 1 or 2 of them in that say 4-track there but are 2-track because someone's replaced the heads. This is a play head, this is the record head, erase head. But you can see that all the paint is on there. It's not been disturbed since manufacture, so this is a 4-track. But I did take the customer's word for it and try a 2-track tape in there, or half-track, and it didn't work on one channel. So I thought, well, either one of the boards has got a fault on it, or it is actually 4-track. So I put a 4-track in and it worked fine. Both channels worked. The other thing on this, I think there's some slight variations on these actually, because I seem to remember when you switch it on, these meters should come alight, but on this version they don't, but they do light up in record mode. So when you put it into record mode, both the little lights in the middle and the meters light up, but I don't think that all are like that. I think I've seen a few where the meters actually light up. So there we go. The customer wanted me to show him around a bit how to work these. This switch here, off in the middle obviously. This is on 7.5 with a big reel on it, and this is on 7.5 with a small reel, and vice versa. This is on big reel 3 3/4, on small reel 3 3/4. So it's quite self-explanatory when you look at it. Now this one, for some reason, the VU meters aren't registering. Normally you have to put it in this mode here and turn these volumes up, and you should normally get this to register, but for some reason this isn't registering, and it could be because it's a 4-track model and not 2-track, but it could be also because the meters are faulty on this as well. I'm going to have to check them. I don't think they are faulty. I think this is a quirk with the 4-tracks, but anyway, these are momentary switches. They're not latching, so when you press that in, there's a relay in the back on the relay board. You might have seen it earlier when I panned round, and those relays stick on. They don't stick on if this dummy here is not in place. If you pull that dummy out, they won't stick. So the dummy has to be in place, and also the circuitry in the relay board has to be good. If the relay board's got a fault on it or got some resistors burnt out as a result of these going, then that is a possible problem that they don't stick. But obviously make sure you've got the dummy in there. As far as actually fault finding these go, they're very easy actually. All the boards are slotted in, and if you've got a fault with one channel, just unplug the card, swap it over with another one of the same sort, and that will, you should see the fault move then from the left channel 1 to channel 2 and vice versa. You know, it is pretty easy, and the cards for these as well are very easy as well to find. About 25 to 30 English pounds on UK eBay, so they're very, very easy. I mean, if anyone is just slightly technically minded could sort this out. You don't need to pay service centres an arm and a leg to repair these, and in fact all of these that I'm repairing, I'm not charging much to repair them because I like to give a good service for a reasonable price. I know that no one's got any money at the moment in this pandemic, so yeah, I'm not making the situation worse by overcharging. So yeah, there we go. I mean, servicing these is quite straightforward. You obviously need to lubricate this with light oil. That's the pinch roller. The heads need to be cleaned. I recommend isopropyl alcohol with cotton bud. Also, you need periodically, not all the time, to demagnetize the heads. and I've got a very good TAC E3 demagnetizer that I pay quite a lot of money for. This is a good one, but you can pick up demagnetizers for about 19-20 quid, and they're perfectly all right. It's just I've got a posh one with a switch on it, but any ones will do really. So I think that's about it really. The suitcase models of these, I've got speakers in, and you can obviously turn the speakers on and off with this button here. This button does absolutely nothing on this model because it's not a suitcase model, it's a model in a case. Real motors off. If you turn that off, I think what happens is you can spool the tape out of one side to dump the tape if you want to, like a lot of professional machines do. Here you've got IEC equalization and NAB equalization. They're just different standards and they sound different from each other. Some people might prefer NAB, some IEC, so just set to what you want really. They're different sorts of biasing, because you can't bias these from the front panel like you can the ferrographs that I much like. The good thing about these though, they're good domestic machines. They're very, very easy to operate. You can see how the tape is threaded there across the top of here underneath this hook. That's important that you don't put it the other side of the hook, because if you do, it will slow the unit down. Just over here, underneath here, passing under here and back up again. Very easy. It might be easier if you're not used to it to thread it through without this cover on. So I'm not really sure what else I can tell you. Anyway, this one's been sorted out. It wasn't holding the tape, it's smoking. There's a lot of problems with this, but yeah. Volume control. And you don't need to touch the buttons. And let's just check that it auto stops when that tape runs out there and the light no longer will shine on the sensor. That will stop the actual unit. That's how it works. It's a photo sensor at the top here and a light permanently on there. So when that light's no longer when that light is shining on that and the light is not blocked by the tape, it will shut off. So let's just check that it shuts off. And the brakes are good as well. There we are. Brakes are really good as well. You could hear them coming in, squeaking a little bit there, which is perfectly normal. So yeah, this is one fully functional reel-to-reel now. It's taken me a little while to sort out the problem. It had several problems on it, and obviously all the capacitors have been replaced. There's a resistor burnt out as well. So yeah, it's all ready to go, and I think the customer is going to be really happy with this, because I thought it's a bit of a state, and luckily I've managed to sort it out fairly quickly for the customer. So yeah, this is probably going to be the last Revox I do actually. As I say, I don't think there'll be any in Brazil. There are tape players over there, but it hasn't really caught on there like it's caught on in the UK, so probably won't be doing too many more of these videos either actually. I will still keep my YouTube channel. I might do some videos on other stuff, maybe stuff about this COVID that's going around, this COVID farce, should I say, because it is a bit of an agenda going on, Agenda 21 actually. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers then.